Hey, everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan. And wow, there's a lot of action going on. Yes, while Bitcoin is sitting at currently 65,700, looks like it's going to move back over 66. We have some real big gainers in the top 100. The biggest gainer is FTX token. And you're probably saying to yourself, how can that surge 65% in one day? Well, it's because customers are looking to be covered by a $16 billion payment by FTX. So there is the speculation that the creditor repayments are going to come out. And yeah, it's brought this token back to life. And in that second position is SWI, just on fire. It's been on a tear. It's currently at $1.81. It's nearing its all-time high, up 10% on the 24-hour. I can tell you, as you know, I'm very excited about this token, but it's surprising me how quickly it's moving up. XRP is not disappointing either. It's up almost 5%, sitting at 65 cents. Yeah, just really great price action. And Flare is just behind XRP with a little over a 4% gain in the last 24 hours. And it too has just got a lot of great volume. It turned out yesterday's video was quite controversial, over 150 comments. All I can say is, yeah, thanks for the comments. It really keeps me, I think, tapped into the pulse of what the community is thinking. And it was all across the board. I mean, everything for the people who stayed and listened to Vet speak. And I hope that most people did, although I don't think a lot of people did, because they just came off with negative comments based on the very first few minutes of that video. You know, I'm really always trying to give a balanced view. I had a very, very positive last 2/3 of the video with Vet speaking. And yeah, it's unfortunate people are so emotional in this space. It really is, well, I weather the storms. I can do it, don't worry. But there was everything from super attacking comments to comments that, yeah, hung in there and saw that there is great value to the digital asset for that auto bridging. So we'll see if Mr. Intuitive and Dark Horse are going to have a sort of a, I don't know if they even would call it a debate. I'm not sure. Dark Horse had said that he would have Vet host it. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. But I don't know, some people think these conversations are a waste of time. I actually don't think they're a waste of time at all. I think it helps critical thinking, and I think it gives balance to a lot of the narratives that are out there. So yeah, it's okay. You can hit me with your hard hitting comments, and it's good. Yeah, it keeps me grounded too as well. And I understand that not everybody thinks the same out there. And well, thank goodness they don't. But anyway, I just wanted to give that feedback also based on your feedback. I loved the post today from CZ. Good morning, he says, and the food tastes so good. What a luxury it is to be able to have more than one piece of fruit per day. Simple pleasures, right? He's going to chill for a little bit. He wants to thank everybody for the support. It meant a lot to him. Kept him strong in his darkest moments. Few updates. He's going to really have Giggle Academy a big part of his life. This is something he started to build right before he went into that prison. And let's see, what else does he says here? He says he's going to continue to invest in blockchain, decentralized technologies, AI, and biotech. He's also dedicating more time to funding, to charity and education. He's got some rough ideas. He's still working on a book. I didn't know that. He's about 2/3 of the way done. Writing a book is a lot of work, a lot more than he anticipated. Yes, I'm sure it is. And Binance seems to be doing well without him. He's backseat driving, which is excellent, I think, for every founder to be able to find someone to take over the helm. And stay tuned, he says. See you at the conferences. That's great. This is a happy post for me. His Giggle Academy is a mission to make learning fun, addictive, and free for all, and you can join the waitlist. I tried to get on the website and it has too much traffic. It has crashed today. I've clipped up a video that was way under the radar, less than 45 views, and it is from Token 2049 in Singapore. I was waiting for all of these to be uploaded. It was uploaded about 48 hours ago. I want you to listen to this first part. This is Fiona Murray. She is the managing director for Ripple of Asia Pacific region. And I want you to listen to how she describes what Ripple does. So this is a changing narrative. And you're going to hear about this one-stop shop for the digital asset infrastructure and how she states in order their custody, the stablecoin, and then payments. And then we'll keep moving on because there's a lot of really good nuggets in this video.
I'm Fiona Murray, Managing Director for Asia Pacific at Ripple. At Ripple, we're a one-stop shop for digital asset infrastructure. We help organizations and institutions to move value, whether that's fiat or digital, to store value with a custody solution, to exchange it with the launch of our stablecoin at the end of this year. And I'm really excited to be here in my home in Singapore, where we are licensed for payments with our MPI license by MAS as well, and excited to tell you all about how great it is.
So why is Singapore so important? And as you probably have heard, the XRP Ledger Apex 2025 event is going to happen in June in Singapore. Well, have a listen to another panelist along with Fiona when they give their take as to why Singapore is so special.
You know, Singapore has always been relentlessly seeking talents, I think. If I were to sum up, I think not just becoming a ever more important, prominent hub for Web3, but also just generally, I think it's become super, super important, right, across other industries as well. So I think it boils down to a couple of factors. One, I think it's the meritocracy-based kind of society, right? Always open for talents, always open to, super easy to get visa to come and work here. And then secondly is the tax regulation, right? There's no capital gain, I think, which is, very relevant to a lot of crypto holders.
We do see Singapore as a Web3 hub today. So not a potential one, but it's all happening right here, right now. So the first is absolutely that regulatory clarity and framework, which has allowed Coinbase, Ripple to establish licensed operations here. MAS was at the forefront of bringing that regulatory clarity on the global stage, and we're delighted to have that, and would encourage many other jurisdictions to follow suit so that we can do more safely and effectively together. The second piece, look at the innovation around at Token. It's incredible to see that. And we all know that even in Web3, what you need to have are banks. You have to have TradFi support and infrastructure. Every entity needs a bank account, and that's not a given in many jurisdictions here. The banks are encouraged to work with safe, responsible Web3 organizations, and that makes a huge difference to being able to innovate effectively. And then lastly for us, Singapore has a reputation for stability. Yeah. And when you're doing crazy, exciting things with technology, it's really important that as you're building, you've got stability of the legal system, and you can rely on the organizations around to have governance and to enable you to grow without worrying about all of that. So, absolutely, Singapore is already there.
And you're going to hear, because of regulations, more than 50% of the payment flows originate from Singapore for Ripple. And this clip, this portion of the video is also equally interesting. Have a listen.
So in the case of Ripple, we run a global payments network, And what we do that's different in that network is we enable the use of digital assets for real-time settlement across border. And we use Singapore as a hub in that network. So in Singapore, we're licensed with a DPT license, a digital payment token license that enables us to sell digital tokens and process all the operations as a hub here for many of our global operations. And that is the framework that has allowed us and other organizations that are like-minded to come to set up and to establish Singapore as a hub. So we're headquartered in San Francisco, and we run a global business, working with some of the world's largest banks when they're self-custodying, working with some of the new entrants to the space who are tokenizing on the XRP ledger. And what we have seen in the US is that the regulator there, through a lack of clarity, has completely stifled innovation. So that innovation has moved elsewhere to places like Singapore, the UK, Europe, UAE, where there are, and Japan, where the regulator is embracing progress, partnering with the private sector and bringing clarity. And there's just no dispute about that. So here in Singapore, again, where we have that license structure, we run our global payments network. More than 50% of Ripple's global payment flows through the digital asset goes through Singapore. So you can, not the US. In fact, it's not worth mentioning the comparison. So it really does make a very big difference where you have that forward-thinking regulator, and we see much more growth and some of the really big players moving into this space in Asia Pacific as well because of that clarity here in Singapore.
In this part of the clip, we're going to hear about predicting trends in this part of the world, and also I want to talk about an accelerator program called Tenity. You want to listen to how many projects they've identified for Ripple and help get started through their accelerator program. They've run 2 programs so far. The last one was from April to June in 2024. One that stands out from last year won a spot in the program, and they received their grant for their cross-border payment innovation. The company is called Wind. It's a self-custody smart contract wallet on Polygon, and basically a stable to fiat infrastructure. And one from this last cohort is a company called Zoth. They're a proud graduate of the accelerator by Tenity, connecting liquidity. And so far they're on Ethereum, Polygon, and a couple of others, but they're going to bring their liquidity token natively to the XRPL. A week ago, they were in the Singapore office, and you can see that they had an amazing time visiting the team, and they discussed the exciting potential of bringing that token, which is the ZTLN, natively to the XRP ledger. What I really like about it is that it's liquid, so it'll be something that you can move in and out. It doesn't necessarily get locked for a long period of time. And it's backed by U.S. Treasuries and corporate bonds, and it's a perfect solution for Web3 treasuries like DAOs and foundations, and they closed a new round on August 5th. So again, it looks like they were in a position to attract a lot of capital. So allow me to let Fiona take you out on the rest of this video, and until next time, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.
I'll say that Singapore is fantastic at predicting what trends there are and then building talent to fit those requirements and those needs that are coming up. We see that in Singapore, the universities do a wonderful job of providing world-class education. And what I really like to see here is actually their openness to collaborating with the private sector as well. So at Ripple, we take this super seriously. In 2018, we launched the University Blockchain Research Initiative. So we partner with universities around the world to provide, and so far, from 2018, we've provided over $60 million in funding to help universities and academia do real-world research and solve real-world problems, which is something that I think we all agree is really important in the Web3 space.
How many universities you have tied up across the globe?
Many, many. Our flagship university partner in Singapore is NUS. So with them, we help them launch their fintech group. They have sponsored hackathons, student-led hackathons, so they can attack really what the students want to do and build utility in this space. Speaking of talent, what we did during COVID, which was a tough time for everybody, in partnership with NUS, was we funded the enrollment of 300 students and mid-career professionals here in Singapore who wanted a career change. And at the end of that course, 200 of those 300 students found full-time work in fintech. So we see that education has a direct impact on your ability to work and the ability for Singapore to fuel the talent in this space. I'll say one more thing on the topic, and that's once you have education and you build and you inspire a group of people to build in Web3 and blockchain, you need to have more funding. So the next thing that we've done is we have the XRPL accelerator program. We have a hub here in Singapore, and year to date, we've provided 11 organizations with early stage seed funding so that they can build on-chain here out of Singapore.